All right, hello everybody. Um, I kind of want to take the time to speak to any other, culinary enthusiasts, up and coming cooks, young junior sous chefs or sous chefs in general. I'm a sous chef. I've been a sous chef for probably about 7 years now. Cooked in a variety of different places, from like the Omni Grove Park Inn in Asheville to doing university work from Longwood University to High Point University for the company Aramark. I've ran massive events like the vice presidential debate where we had to feed over 55,000 people. It was like 55,000 media members and then probably 20 or 30,000 other motherfuckers, with the Secret Services there. It was for Tim McCain and Mike Pence. That's whenever I did it at Longwood University. You can look it up. That's where we did it. We had a massive, I was part of that whole entire process. It was amazing. Since then I have also done other things, right? I've been an executive chef for Spruce Street Garden Craft Tavern in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. So I've done, the farm to table thing. I have, done the private chef thing. I've done the catering thing. I've done international cooking because of Aramark specifically. I did 2 tours with NASCAR as a cook. They called us mercenary chefs. High Point Furniture Market, all that kind of stuff, right? I just came back to this company, Aramark. This would be the start of my 7th year with them. Came back in November of last year, so I've been back for probably about 9 months. I've been really fighting for that next spot. So for me, that's a chef de cuisine job, CDC, right? For a company like this. I've been fighting trying to get a spot, man. And, I've got over like 15 applications out just within the company itself. And nobody will even give me a fucking phone call. My executive chef where I'm at currently won't even put the time and effort into me to teach me the one thing that I'm missing from my credentials to actually take that position, which is learning the galley program. And I've been fighting, man, fighting to learn that and really be able to grow. So it really sucks that they're not taking the time to teach me that, so because of that, I am looking for other work. You have to kind of make a decision at a certain point whether you're okay with being stagnant in the role that you're in. I'm not one of those chefs. I want to continue to learn. I want to continue to grow. If I'm not doing that 6 months to a year into my role, I'm usually looking elsewhere because I don't like to be stagnant. I don't want that shit, man. Like, I want to always get better. My goal in life, and if I'm to work for someone else, is to reach 6 figures, right? Like, I feel like if I can hit 100 to 120K a year, if it's $100,000 salary plus bonus structures, that's a good job for a chef spot, man, especially here on the East Coast. I'm not married. I don't have kids. So, I thought about going out to Colorado, man. I love the West Coast. I've been out to Denver, been out to Boulder, done the whole medical marijuana industry. So, when I was out there for a summer, I went out there for a summer when I was 21, and it was amazing. I loved it, fucking loved it. But I don't know that many people out there. So, I would have to do a lot of networking, try to make a whole lot more connections just for me to feel comfortable trying, right? And making that leap of faith, because I don't have any family out there either. So, but maybe that's what's next for me. I don't know. But, I'm in a position now where I'm looking. I've had 12 interviews this week alone, and I've been offered 4 jobs. So I have accepted one. I will kind of let you know a little bit more about that as this week progresses. But right now, I just kind of wanted to take the time to talk about why I'm looking, when, right? So when is a good time for you to make that decision to move on? Which, like I said, for me, it's the stagnation aspect, right? Creativity is a huge part for me. So the position I accepted is an executive sous chef role, so it is one title higher than mine. I'm hoping that I can use this to, if I can do this for a year and a half, get that executive chef spot, run that fine dining, because it's a fine dining restaurant, and I can't wait to show you a little bit more about it. But yeah, I'm so excited. I will take a little bit more time. I'm about to go back into the kitchen, but we will transition into the next part of this momentarily. So just to give you a little bit of internal knowledge, right? What I would be leaving right now is a university. So park kitchen, okay? So this is our dietary kitchen where we do anything dietary comes out of this kitchen. I usually, right now during the summer, I'm pretty much running this by myself on the weekends, but it's the summer. You know, with university work, you have to be okay, unless you're in a salary position, you have to be okay with only working the spring and the fall. So after May 3rd, okay, so from May 3rd until August 18th, you have to find other work, you know, and it doesn't matter how much you're getting paid hourly, man. You know, here, I mean, I make $22, $23 an hour here, you know, so during the spring and summer, I usually work about 55 hours a week, man. I'm killing it. I'm doing so good for myself, right? Especially as a young man. So this is where I would be leaving, right? And I want to show you the outside. All right, so our dining area is all of that, right? So we can probably see about, I don't know, maybe 500 students in here. So between the dining area and our outside seating that wraps around, it's probably about 400 to 500 students total. Like I said, you have to be okay with the money, losing that during the summer, unless you're in a salary role, which is why I've been fighting so hard for that CDC role, right? Because before I came back here, I was in a salary position. I was in Asheville. I was helping run the Omni Grove Park Inn, and I loved it. It was so fucking amazing, man. And I never would have left there, dude. If it wasn't for the car accident I was in, whole nother story, right? So a little bit of information, that was probably my favorite job I've ever fucking had. The Omni Grove Park Inn, I was the main catering PM sous chef when I was there for about a year and a half, almost 2 years before my accident. You know, I had a lady clip me really bad in downtown. She totaled my vehicle. I had a torn ACL, and then I had, it wasn't fully torn, but my second ACL was almost torn, I guess. So, you know, I was in a wheelchair for a month and a half, and then I was in crutches for another month and a half, dude. And then, you know, I had to like relearn how to walk, you know, and so they put me on FMLA leave. That's why I left there. You know, I was still doing my healing process, kind of, you know, getting back to just moving around, man, feeling comfortable in the kitchen, doing small line jobs, you know, as soon as I was kind of back on my feet. And then Hurricane Helene happened. So whenever the hurricane hit, you know, obviously we lost everything, man. Like, it fucking destroyed Asheville. It destroyed Lake Lure, you know. There was nothing fucking left in Lake Lure or Chimney Rock, man. You know, I like lost my whole fucking life, dude. And, you know, I was homeless because of that shit. You know, it made me homeless for a fucking, like, almost a year, man. Honestly, you know, I was between living in a fucking, honestly, living on the fucking river in Chimney Rock. I slept on that fucking river. I hate to admit it, but, you know, there was a time where I had to deal with that. And thankfully, I was able to kind of move past all that. Obviously, when the hurricane hit, it brought me back down towards this area. I have family here, central North Carolina. And so that's kind of why I'm back in this area now, right? But, you know, because I have no kids and I'm not married, I am looking everywhere in America, right? I feel like this is kind of like the prime moment for me to, you know, not only like find a position that is better from where I'm at currently, that I can use to springboard into a CDC role back with Aramark, just at a different location. Because honestly, High Point University, I don't think is for me, culturally speaking. I just really haven't had good experiences here with the people, I would say, the twice that I've worked at this university. So, but like I said, you know, I have accepted a executive sous chef position at a fine dining restaurant, and, you know, we're closed 3 days a week, so I will guarantee have 3 days off a week, and I have never experienced that before, so that'll be amazing. So being on salary, only open dinner, it's gonna be so good, man. I'm so ready to start cooking that food and showing y'all that food and getting some feedback, because it is farm to table. You know, from what they were telling me, they try to only source from farmers who are like within 30 to 50 miles of the restaurant. And that's such an important thing for me, and I really cannot wait to like jump into that, jump to the community aspect, and start putting that here online, because I want feedback on that, right? Because, you know, I don't know how many people are really watching me. I know, like, I just started doing YouTube. You know, YouTube is going to be like a serious thing for me. I do want to take this seriously, but, you know, this is an outlet for me to show my food off and to get feedback from people that I don't even know, right? Like, you know, I haven't told any of my family about this, or, you know, people in my real world that I've started this YouTube account, right? Because, you know, I want that natural, organic growth. I want, you know, people who either like to look at my wonderful face, or like my voice, or just, you know, have a passion for food, whether you're in the industry or not in the industry. If you're just a home cook and a home chef, man, like, join this community. You know, I'm hoping to build this from nothing, and, you know, my goal one day is to have at least 100,000 people in this community, right? You know, I hope I can look back 10 years from now, you know, at this video and be like, this is where it started, man. You know, and I'm excited. This excites me. I just want to help promote a healthy, clean way of living and build a community that is based around food and music, you know, and this is me doing that. This is me trying to start doing that. And all I can hope is that I help inspire some of y'all, and just chase your dreams in life and never give up, and just keep fucking going, man. Like, I've been through so much, and I feel like I'm a prime example of where you can be at mentally, like in a positive headspace, even though you've been through so much negative shit in your life, right? So, because that's all the type of shit that'll bring you down. If you have a negative mentality, man, it seeps out. People feel that shit. They don't want to be around you. It's horrible, man. It's fucking horrible. And that's nowhere near the type of community I want to build. So if that's you, and you're like super negative, man, and like that's the world you want to live in, this is not the place for you, okay? But if you are a positive person, or at least trying to be, and like you want to be better in life, you want to be a part of a food community that cares about that, please join, man. Okay, like, be a part of this community. I want to talk to you. Hopefully I can meet you one day, you know what I mean? Like, I'm hoping this can help me travel the world, meet new people, learn way more about different cultures, different flavors, man. Like, I want to explore this wonderful fucking world, and I want to meet as many people as possible and just spread as much positivity and good vibes, and showing people that we can all break bread together, all right? Because at the end of the day, we're all humans. We're all on this planet together, man. Whether you on the left side or the right side, man, like, we still all bleed red at the end of the day, okay? So that's the type of community I want to fucking help cultivate and help build. So please join me, and, you know, I hope that we can build that together. So, because that's what it's going to take. It's going to take everybody. This is not just about me. This is hopefully going to be about so much more, you know. And like I said, hopefully 10 years from now, I am giving back in so many ways to my community here in North Carolina because of this. Yeah, and I hope it turns into such a beautiful thing. I really do. So, but thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. So, yeah, dude, please like, subscribe, hit that little button, join the community. Let me know what you think. All right, but peace, love, and happiness. Have a good